Welcome to the Shattuck-St. Mary's first ever virtual variety show. The COVID-19 pandemic has limited our ability to perform together in traditional ways over the past year. But that doesn't mean that we've stopped singing, acting, dancing, and creating. There's been great loss this year, and it's been painful to see performance venues across the country remain dark. Performing artists have been without the ability to connect with an audience, which is a vital element of the passion to perform that drives our art. And yet, SSM's commitment to the performing arts continues, even without a stage to perform on. Here are some of the members of the Shattuck-St. Mary's community performing pieces that they chose and prepared themselves. We hope that you enjoy them, and we look forward to their return to the stage with you in the audience in the near future. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lotte. I'm in the major COE and I'm also part of Players, and I'm here to introduce our next performer, which is Wisdo, and she's going to sing A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman.
Million Hi, this is Liza Gavlova. I'm a part of Players and the girls U19 soccer team. We are on our way back from Fort Wayne, Indiana after winning our last 2 league games. But more importantly, I'm here to introduce a grade 11 singer who will be performing a piece called Corner of the Sky from Pippen. So without further ado, our team introduces
Brewer Williams!
Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats sit on a windowsill, children sit in the show. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydream, every man has his goal. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. Don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So many men seem destined to settle for something small. But I'm pressed until I know I have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, but listen when I'm gone. Far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky.
Hello, I'm Mr. Yao, one of the choir directors here, and I'm thrilled to introduce the next act. Anna Smith, the theater teacher, will be performing Nothing Stops Another Day from Ghost, the musical. Enjoy.
See the sunrise from my window. It must have risen every day, but I couldn't see it all.
Hi there, my name is Emma Politoski. I am in Players, Choir, and Arch Dance Company. Next up in our performance is Taylor Smith. They're a 10th grader and they will be doing a satirical singing performance titled Chug Jug with You.
We got a victory royale, yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down, 10 kills on the board right now, just swiped out Tomato Town. My friend just got down, and revived him, now we're heading southbound, now we're in the Pleasant Park Street. Look at the map, go to the mark sheets, take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. You can take a note to mine, but not with me. I really love to chug jug with you. We can be the Fortnite gamers. He said, hey broski, you got some heals and a shield pot? I need healing and I am only at 1 HP. Nah dude, sorry, I found nothing on the safari. I checked the upstairs of that house but not the underneath yet. There's a chest that's just down there. The store is coming fast and you need heals to prepare. A $50 that I'll spend, more than you can contend. I'm a cool pro Fortnite gamer. Cool pro Fortnite. Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. You can take your wish to my end, but not with me. I really love you. Chug jug with you. We can be the Fortnite gamers. La, 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 la. Can we get a win this weekend? Take me to Louvain. Let's change the game mode and we can disco dominate. Let's hop in an ATK. Take me to the zone. I'm running kinda low on max. I need to break some stone. Dressed in all his fancy clothes. He's got Renegade Raider and he's probably a pro. Shot my bag. I turn back and I attack. I just got a victory royale. A victory royale.
Oh, hey everybody. It's Peter Schleif, Director of the Vocal Performance Program. Our next act consists of some actors from our Players class. This is a scene from The Importance of Being Earnest, as performed by Liza, Lotte, Abby, and Emma.
Miss Fairfax. Pray, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Carter. Cecily Carter, what a very sweet name. Something tells me that we're going to be great friends. I like you only more than I can say. My first impressions of people are never wrong. How nice of you to like me so much after we've known each other for such a comparatively short time. Pray, sit down. I may call you Cecily, may I not? With pleasure. And you will always call me Gwendolyn, won't you? If you wish. Then that is all quite settled, is it not? I hope so. Perhaps this might be a favorable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You've never heard of Papa, I suppose? I don't think so. Outside the family circle, Papa, I'm glad to say, is entirely unknown. I think that is quite as it should be. The home seems to me to be the proper sphere for a man. And certainly once a man begins to neglect his domestic duties, he becomes painfully effeminate, does he not? And I don't like that. It makes men so very attractive. Cecily, Mamma, whose views on education are remarkably strict, has brought me up to be extremely short-sighted. It is part of her system. So do you mind my looking at you through my glasses? Oh, not at all, Gwendolyn. I'm very fond of being looked at. You are here on a short visit, I suppose? Oh no, I live here. Really? Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of advanced years, resides here also? Oh no, I have no mother, nor, in fact, any relations. Indeed. My dear guardian, with the assistance of Miss Prism, has the oddest task of looking after me. Your guardian? Yes, I am Mr. Wardy's ward. Oh, it is strange. He never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I'm not sure, however, that the news inspires me with feelings of a mixed delight. I'm very fond of you, Cecily. I've liked you ever since I met you. But I'm bound to state that now that I know you're Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing I wish you were, well, just a little older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly.
Pray do. I think that whenever one has anything unpleasant to say, one should always be quite candid.
Well, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish that you were fully 42 and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a strong, upright nature. He's the very soul of truth and honor. Disloyalty would be as impossible to him as deception. But even men of the noblest possible moral character are extremely susceptible to the influence of the physical charms of others. Modern, no less than ancient history, supposes with many most painful examples of what I refer to. If it were not so, indeed, history would be quite unreadable.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolyn. Did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. It's his brother. His elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
I'm sorry to say they have not been on good terms for a long time.
Ah, that accounts for it. And now that I think of it, I've never heard any man mention his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Cecily, you have lifted and alone from my mouth. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible if any cloud had come across a friendship like ours, would it not? Of course, you are quite sure that it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is your guardian.
Quite sure. In fact, I'm going to be his.
I beg your pardon?
Dearest Gwendolyn, there's no reason why I should make a secret of it to you. A little county newspaper is sure to chronicle the fact next week. Mr. Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
My darling Cecily, I think there must be some slight error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post on Saturday at the latest.
I am afraid you must be under some misconception. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
It is certainly quite curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you would care to verify the incident, pray do so. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in the train. I am so sorry, dear Cecily, if it is any disappointment to you, but I'm afraid I have the prior claim.
It would distress me more than I can tell you, dear Gwendolyn, if it caused you any mental or physical anguish, but I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he clearly has changed his mind.
If the poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish promise, I shall consider it my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gotten into, I will never approach him with it after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I interrupt Ernest into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time for wearing the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
I am glad to say that I have never seen a spade. It is obvious that our social spheres have been widely different.
Shall I lay the tea here as usual, miss? Yes, as usual. May I offer you some tea, Miss Fairfax?
Thank you. Detestable girl, but I require tea.
Sugar?
No, thank you. Sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen at the best houses nowadays. You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and though I asked most distinctly for bread and butter, you have given me cake. I am known for the gentleness of my disposition and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature. But I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor, innocent, trusting boy from the machinations of any other girl, there are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I thought that you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived in such matters. My first impressions of
people are invariably right. It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I'm trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt you have many other calls of similar character to make in the neighborhood. Ernest, my own Ernest. Gwendolyn, darling! A moment. May I ask if you are engaged to be married to this young lady? To dear Cecily? Of course not. Who could have put such an idea into your pretty little head? Thank you. You may. I knew there must be some misunderstanding, Miss Fairfax. The gentleman whose arm is represented around your waist is my dear darling, Mr. John Warden. I beg your pardon? This is Uncle Jack. Jack? Oh. Here is Ernest. My own love. Ernest, may I ask you, are you engaged to be married to this young lady? To what young lady? Good heavens, Gwendolyn. Yes, to good heavens, Gwendolyn. I mean, to Gwendolyn. Of course not. Who could have put such an idea in your pretty little head? Thank you. You may.
I felt there was some slight error. Miss Cardew, the gentleman who is now embracing you, is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Algernon Moncrief? Oh. Are you called Algernon? I cannot deny it. Oh.
Is your name really John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. My name certainly is John. It has been John for years. A gross deception has been practiced on both of us. My poor wounded Cecily, my sweet proud Gwendolyn, you will call me sister, will you not? There's just one question I would like to be allowed to ask my guardian. An admirable idea. Mr. Worthing, there is just one question I would like to be permitted to put to you. Where is your brother Ernest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Ernest. So it is a matter of some importance to us to know where your brother Ernest is at present. Gwendolyn, Cecily, it is very painful for me to be forced to speak the truth. It is the first time in my life that I've ever been reduced to such a painful position, and I'm really quite inexperienced in doing anything of the kind. However, I will tell you quite frankly that I have no brother Ernest. I have no brother at all. I never had a brother in my life, and I certainly have not the smallest intention of having one in the future. No brother at all? None. Have you never a brother of any kind? Never. Not even of any kind.
I am afraid it is quite clear, Cecily, that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It is not a very pleasant position for a young girl suddenly to find herself in, is it?
Let us go to the house. They will hardly venture to capture us there.
No, men are so cowardly, aren't they? This ghastly state of things is what you call bunburying, I suppose? Yes, and a perfectly wonderful bunbury it is. The most wonderful bunbury I have ever had in my life. Well, you've no right whatsoever to bunbury here. That is absurd. One has a right to bunbury anywhere one chooses. Every serious bumburist knows that. Serious bumburist? Good heavens! Well, one must be serious about something if one wants any amusement in life. I happen to be serious about bunburying. What on earth you are serious about, I haven't got the remotest idea. About everything, I should fancy. You have an absolutely trivial nature. Well, the only small satisfaction I have in the whole of this wretched business is that your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. You won't be able to run down to the country quite so often as you used to, dear Algy, and a very good thing too. Your brother's a little off colour, isn't he, dear Jack? You won't be able to disappear to London quite so frequently as your wicked custom was, and not a bad thing either. As for your conduct towards Miss Cardew, I must say that your taking in a sweet, simple, innocent little girl like that is quite inexcusable, to say nothing of the fact that she is my ward. I can see no possible defence at all for your deceiving a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax, to say nothing of the fact that she is my cousin. I wanted to be engaged to Gwendolyn, that is all. I love her. Well, I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her. There's certainly no chance of you marrying Miss Cardew. I don't think there is much likelihood, Jack, of you and Miss Fairfax being united. Well, it is no business of yours. If it were my business, I wouldn't talk about it. It is very vulgar to talk about one's business. Only people like stockbrokers do that, and then merely at dinner parties. How can you sit there, calmly eating muffins when we are in this horrible trouble I can't make out? You seem to me to be perfectly harmless. Well, I can't eat muffins in an agitated manner. The butter would probably get to my cuffs. One should always eat muffins quite calmly. It is the only way to eat them. I say it's perfectly heartless you're eating muffins at all, under the circumstances. When I am in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I am in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse everything except food and drink. At the present moment, I am eating muffins because I am unhappy. Besides, I am particularly fond of muffins. Well, that is no reason why you should eat them all in that greedy way. I wish you would have tea cake. Instead, I don't like tea cake. Good heavens! I suppose a man may eat his own muffins in his own garden. But you have just said it was perfectly heartless of you to eat muffins. I said it was perfectly heartless of you under the circumstances. That is a very different thing. That may be, but the muffins are the same. Algie, I wish to goodness you would go. You can't possibly ask me to go without having some dinner. It's absurd. I never go without my dinner. No one ever does, except vegetarians and people like that. Besides, I have just made arrangements with Dr. Chasuble to be christened at 5:45 under the name of Earnest. My dear fellow, the sooner you give up that nonsense, the better. I made arrangements this morning with Dr. Chasuble to be christened myself at 5:30, and I naturally will take the name of Ernest. Gwendolyn would wish it. We can't both be christened Ernest. It's absurd. Besides, I have a perfect right to be christened if I like. There is no evidence at all that I have ever been christened by anybody. I should think it extremely probable I never was, and so does Dr. Chasuble. It is entirely different in your case. You have been christened already. Yes, but I have not been christened for years. Yes, but you have been christened. That is the important thing. Quite so. So I know my constitution can stand it. If you are not quite sure about your ever having been christened, I must say I think it's rather dangerous you're venturing on it now. It might make you very unwell. You can hardly have forgotten that someone very closely connected with you was very nearly carried off this week in Paris by a severe chill. Yes, but you said yourself that a severe chill was not hereditary. It used to be, I know, but I dare say it is now. Science is always making wonderful improvements in things. Oh, that is nonsense. You are always talking nonsense. Jack, you are at the muffins again. I wish you wouldn't. There are only 2 left. I told you I was particularly fond of muffins. But I hate tea cake. Why on earth, then, would you allow tea cake to be served up for your guests? What ideas you have of hospitality? Algernon, I've already told you to go. I don't want you here. Why don't you go? I haven't quite finished my tea yet, and there's still 1 muffin left. Ugh.
Hi, my name is Abigail, and I'm in vocal performance and players. Our next performer will be singing Giants in the Sky from Into the Woods. Please welcome Lucas Young.
There are giants in the sky. They're big, tall, terrible giants in the sky. When you're way up high and you look below at the world you've left and things you know, little more than a glance is enough to show you just how small you are. When you're way up high and you're on your own in a world like none that you ever know, and the sky is land and earth is stone, you're free to do whatever pleases you, exploring things you never did, cause you don't care when suddenly there's a big, tall, terrible giant at the door. A big, tall, terrible lady giant sweeping the floor. And she gives you food and she gives you rest, and she draws you close to her giant breast, and you know things now that you never knew before. Not till the sky. Only just when you made a friend and all, and you know she's big but you don't feel small, so I'm bigger than her cause I'm along the hall to swallow you for lunch. And your heart is lead, your stomach's stone, and you're really scared when you're alone. And it's then that you long for things you know and the road you've left. And later you own the fun is done. You steal what you can and run, and scramble down and you look below, and the road you know begins to grow. The roof, the house, and your mother at the door. The roof, the house, and the road you never thought to explore. And you think of all of the things you've seen, and you wish that you could live in between. And you're back again, only different than before. After the sky, there are giants in the sky. They're big, tall, terrible, awesome, scary, wonderful giants in the sky.
Hey everybody, Miss Smith here, coming to you from our weird, wacky, wonderful backstage dressing room in the New Hall Auditorium here on the SSM campus. We have so missed being able to be in this space, getting ready to perform for a live audience this year. I am so impressed with how innovative and creative everyone has been in order to keep the arts alive and thriving during this strange time. But let me tell you how excited we are to be back in person as soon as possible. Without further ado, let me introduce your fabulous teachers, Mr. James Yao, Benjamin Downs, and Pete Schleif, doing the Hamilton Dear Evan Hansen mashup, Found Tonight.
We may not yet have reached our glory, but I will gladly join the fight. And when our children tell their story, they'll tell the story of tonight. They'll tell the story of tonight.
Tonight, have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear?
Well, let that lonely feeling wash away.
All we see is light.
Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay.
For forever.
When you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand and
raise a glass to freedom, something they can never take away, no matter what they tell you.
Someone will come running to take you home.
Raise a glass to all of us. Tomorrow there'll be more of us, telling the story of tonight. They'll tell the story of tonight. All is new. It's only a matter of time. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found.
And when our children tell their story,
you will be found.
They'll tell the story of
no matter what they tell you.
Tomorrow there'll be more of us,
telling the story of tonight. The story of
to